You walk every single day, maybe 30 minutes, maybe more, and you feel good about it. You should. Walking is genuinely one of the best things an older adult can do for their health. But here is something I want you to sit with for just a moment before we go any further. What if the way you are walking is quietly undoing most of the benefit? What if some of the joint pain, the fatigue, the stiffness, the heavy feeling in your legs by the end of the day is not coming from your age, but from 7 specific mistakes that are completely fixable once you know about them? I am Wesley Harper, and I want to be honest with you right from the start. Most people who walk regularly after 60 are making at least 3 or 4 of these mistakes every single time they go out. Not because they are doing anything reckless, but because nobody ever told them that walking after 60 requires a slightly different approach than walking did at 40. And when you walk the wrong way at this stage of life, the consequences are not just wasted effort. They are real damage to your joints, your posture, your cardiovascular system, and your long-term mobility. Stay with me through all 7 of these, because the ones toward the end are the ones that surprise people the most. And one of them in particular is something almost nobody talks about, but that I believe is one of the most important things an older adult can understand about their daily walk. Before we get into the mistakes, I want you to drop a comment right now. Just tell me how many days a week you currently walk and roughly how long each walk is. I read every comment in this community, and your answer is going to help me understand where you are starting from, so I can keep making videos that actually speak to your situation. Now let us talk about what is actually happening inside your body after 60 when you walk, because understanding this is what makes everything else make sense. After 60, your body is going through several changes at the same time that directly affect how you should be walking. Muscle mass decreases gradually every single year after 50. This is not something you can feel happening day to day, but over a decade it adds up to a significant loss of the tissue that stabilizes your joints, regulates your blood sugar, maintains your posture, and keeps you balanced when you walk. Walking the right way helps slow this process. Walking the wrong way accelerates the problems that come with it. Your joints are also changing. The cartilage inside your joints gets its nutrition not from blood vessels, but from movement itself. When you load a joint and move it properly, the fluid inside the joint spreads across the cartilage surface and delivers the nutrients it needs. Without that regular, correct movement, cartilage gradually thins and weakens. This is why how you walk matters just as much as whether you walk at all. Your circulation is less efficient than it was 20 years ago. Blood vessel walls lose some of their elasticity with age. Blood flow to the legs and feet becomes less robust. The heavy, tired feeling so many older adults notice in their lower legs by evening is directly connected to this. Walking improves circulation significantly, but only when done correctly and consistently. Keep all of that in mind as we go through these 7 mistakes, because every single one of them connects directly back to these changes that are happening in your body right now. Mistake number 1, starting your walk too fast. This is the most common mistake I see, and it is one that feels completely harmless in the moment. You walk out the door and immediately start moving at your normal pace. It seems logical. You are walking, not running. Why would you need to ease into it? But your body is not ready for full pace movement the moment you step outside. Your muscles are still in a resting state. When muscles are cold, they are less elastic and more vulnerable to the small tears that accumulate over time and become chronic pain. Your joints are not yet properly lubricated. The fluid inside your joints needs a few minutes of slow, gentle movement to spread evenly across the cartilage surface. Until that happens, your cartilage is running with less protection than it should have. Your cardiovascular system also needs time to transition. Starting fast causes your heart rate and blood pressure to spike more sharply than necessary. After 60, when your blood vessels are less elastic, that sudden spike puts unnecessary stress on the vessel walls every single time you do it. The fix costs you nothing extra. Just spend the first 3 to 5 minutes of every walk moving at a deliberately slow and easy pace, almost leisurely. That is your body preparing itself. After 5 minutes, your joints are lubricated, your muscles are warm, and your heart is settled into a working rhythm. Now, pick up your normal pace. This single change alone reduces joint pain and fatigue for a large number of older adults who try it consistently. Mistake number 2. Walking with poor posture. Go outside and watch people walk. The majority of them are leaning forward, head pushed out in front of their body, shoulders rolled forward and down, eyes aimed at the ground a few feet ahead. This feels natural because most of us spend hours every day sitting in positions that train our bodies into exactly this shape. But walking this way is doing real damage that most people never connect back to their posture. Your head weighs approximately 10 to 11 pounds. When it sits directly over your spine, your neck muscles carry that weight without difficulty. But when your head pushes forward even by an inch or two, the effective load on your neck and upper back muscles multiplies dramatically. Walk for 30 minutes with your head forward, and you are asking your neck and upper back to hold many times their natural load continuously. This is why so many older adults come home from a walk with neck pain, shoulder tension, or a headache and assume it is just part of aging. It is not. It is posture. When your chest is compressed and your shoulders are rounded forward, your lungs cannot expand fully. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your muscles and brain receive less oxygen than they should. You feel more tired from the same walk than you should because your body is working harder than it needs to with less fuel than it could have. The fix is simpler than most people expect. Imagine a gentle upward pull from the top of your head. Not forced or stiff, just a subtle lengthening of your spine. Shoulders relaxed and slightly back. Eyes looking forward at the horizon rather than down at the ground. Chin level, chest open. In this position, your lungs work fully, your neck carries no excess load, and your spine distributes your body weight the way it was designed to. Practice this every time you walk, and within a few weeks it starts to feel natural. Mistake number 3, wearing the wrong shoes. This is the one most people pay the least attention to, and it is one of the most consequential mistakes on this entire list for joint health specifically. 2 things happen with age that make footwear critically important. First, the natural fat pads on the soles of your feet thin out over time. These pads existed as your body's built-in shock absorbers. Every time your heel hits the ground, those pads cushioned the impact before it traveled up through your ankle, knee, hip, and lower back. As they thin, your shoes have to provide that cushioning instead. If they do not, every step sends a small shock wave up through your entire skeleton. Second, the muscles and ligaments supporting the arch of your foot weaken gradually. The arch can begin to flatten. This changes the load angle on your knee, shifts the alignment of your hip, and increases stress through your lower back. Good arch support in your shoes slows this process meaningfully. Look at the walking shoes you use right now. If you have been walking in them for more than a year, replace them. The outer sole may look perfectly fine, but the cushioning material inside breaks down long before the shoe looks worn. You cannot see this happening, but your joints are feeling it every single step. Replacing your walking shoes regularly is one of the simplest and most direct investments you can make in your joint health after 60. Mistake number 4, walking only once or twice a week for long distances. This pattern is incredibly common. Life gets busy, the week passes, and then on the weekend you take a long walk to make up for it. An hour, sometimes longer. You come home tired, feel like you have done something good for yourself, and consider your exercise taken care of for the week. But your body does not respond to exercise the way you might think. It does not bank up the benefit of one long effort and release it slowly over the following days. It responds to repeated, consistent signals. When you walk regularly, your heart gradually becomes more efficient, your blood vessels adapt, your muscles strengthen, your metabolism stays active. These changes only happen with repetition. One walk a week is not a strong enough signal for your body to adapt to. The benefit stays minimal. Worse than that, a single long walk after several days of complete rest is a genuine stress event for muscles that have not been moving. They are unprepared, stiff, and more likely to hurt the next day. People experience this and conclude that walking hurts their joints. The joints are usually fine. The pattern of loading them is the problem. 20 to 30 minutes of walking 5 or 6 days a week is what research consistently shows reduces cardiovascular disease risk, helps regulate blood sugar, and supports healthy bone density. Not one long Sunday walk, 5 or 6 shorter walks spread through the week. If that feels like a lot right now, start with 3 days and add one more every couple of weeks. Your body adapts to what repeats, only to what repeats. Mistake number 5. Not moving your arms while you walk. Most people either hold their arms stiff at their sides, let them hang completely, or put them in their pockets. It feels comfortable, but it is quietly reducing the benefit of your walk and creating unnecessary strain through your lower back. Walking is a full body movement. When your left leg steps forward, your right arm is supposed to swing forward at the same time. This cross-pattern movement is wired into your nervous system. It distributes load across your spine evenly and reduces the twisting force on your lower back with every step. When your arms stay still, your lower back has to compensate for that missing balance. For anyone who already has lower back discomfort, this compensation can trigger pain that gets blamed on the walk itself. Arm swing also means more muscles are active during your walk. Your shoulders, chest, and upper back all contribute when your arms move properly. More active muscle means better circulation, higher caloric burn, and a stronger overall effect from the exact same distance walked. You get more from every single walk simply by letting your arms do what they are designed to do. Bend your elbows slightly and let them swing forward and back in natural rhythm opposite to your legs. You do not need an exaggerated pumping motion. Just stop pinning your arms to your body. After a few walks, it becomes automatic, and you will notice your walking feels easier and more natural almost immediately. Mistake number 6, walking while looking at your phone. I know this one might feel like a small thing, but I want you to understand what is actually happening when you walk with a phone in your hand, because it is more significant than most people realize. When you look at a phone, your head tilts downward. We already talked about what forward head position does to your neck. Looking at a screen while walking makes this significantly worse because your head is angled lower than it would be with ordinary poor posture. The load on your neck and upper back increases even further. Your shoulders run more. Your breathing becomes shallower. Everything that bad posture causes during a walk is intensified when a screen is involved. But there is a safety issue here that matters even more for older adults specifically. After 60, your balance system operates with slightly less precision than it did at 40. Your body increasingly relies on what your eyes are seeing to help maintain balance and awareness of the ground beneath you. When your eyes are on a screen, your brain is deprived of the visual information it needs to keep you safe on uneven pavement, at curbs, on wet surfaces, on steps. The risk of a fall increases substantially. A fall after 60 is not just an inconvenience. It can mean a fracture, surgery, a long recovery, and for many older adults, a loss of independence that is very difficult to fully regain. The prevention is simple. Phone goes in your pocket for the duration of your walk. If you want to listen to something, use earbuds. Keep the screen out of your hands and your eyes on the path ahead where they belong. Comment below right now and tell me honestly, do you walk with your phone in your hand? I want to know because I think the answer from this community is going to surprise a lot of people. Mistake number 7, skipping recovery after your walk. This is the one nobody talks about. The general assumption is that walking is gentle enough that no recovery is needed. You just walk. Go inside and get on with your day. But skipping recovery is quietly undermining a large portion of the benefit your walk should be giving you. Start with water. Your muscles are made up of a very high percentage of water, and every process that happens in muscle tissue during and after exercise requires adequate hydration. Even mild dehydration measurably reduces muscle elasticity, slows recovery, and increases cramping. Drink a glass of water when you come in from your walk. Not a sports drink, just water. This is basic and it matters more than most people act on. Stretching after your walk is the other piece that most people skip entirely. During walking, your muscles contract repeatedly. Without stretching afterward, they stay slightly shortened. Over weeks and months of walking without stretching, this accumulation creates persistent tightness and stiffness that gets worse over time. The calves, the back of the thighs, and the lower back are the areas where older adults feel this most noticeably. 5 minutes of gentle stretching after every walk prevents this entirely. Not an intense stretching session. Just 5 minutes of slow, comfortable holds in the muscle groups you just used. This alone changes how your body feels in the hours and days after a walk significantly. And rest days matter too. Your body does not adapt during exercise. It adapts during recovery. When you walk, your muscles, joints, and cardiovascular system receive a signal that they need to strengthen and improve. But the actual strengthening happens during the rest period that follows. 1 to 2 rest days each week is not laziness. It is the correct approach for allowing your body to build the adaptations that make walking genuinely beneficial over time. Think of your walk as one part of a 4-part system: the walk itself, water afterward, 5 minutes of stretching, and adequate rest. Only as a complete system does walking deliver everything it is capable of delivering for your health after 60. So let me pull all of this together for you clearly and simply. Start every walk slowly for the first 3 to 5 minutes without exception. Check your posture every time you head out and keep your head up, shoulders back, and eyes forward. Replace your walking shoes if they are more than a year old, regardless of how they look. Walk 5 to 6 days a week for 20 to 30 minutes rather than one long walk on the weekend. Let your arms swing naturally with every step. Put your phone in your pocket for the entire walk, and when you get home, drink a glass of water and spend 5 minutes stretching. None of these are difficult changes. None of them require equipment or money or a dramatic lifestyle overhaul. They require awareness and intention, and the difference they make to how your joints feel, how your energy holds up through the day, how your cardiovascular system responds, and how your body ages over the coming years is genuinely significant. Walking is one of the most powerful health tools available to older adults. It is free, it requires nothing special, and when done correctly, it delivers benefits to your heart, your brain, your bones, your blood sugar, and your mental health that are as well supported by research as almost any medication, but it has to be done right. And now you know how. If today's video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps this video reach more seniors who are walking every day without knowing these mistakes are holding them back. Subscribe if you are not already part of this community. Every week, I bring you honest, practical health information built specifically for adults over 60, and leave a comment below. Which of these 7 mistakes are you going to fix starting with your very next walk? I genuinely want to know, and I read every single comment. Take good care of yourself. Walk well. And I will see you in the next one. Just remember, this video is for educational and informational purposes only. Always talk to your doctor or healthcare provider before making any changes to your medications, supplements, diet, or health routine.